In three. Oh, wait. No, that's not 3, 2, 1. Here we are. I should have done the countdown and the
Oh,
music.
yeah.
We forgot all that stuff, all that play stuff that we could do.
Oh, man.
Darn it. Hello. Welcome to Friday with Fran. I am one host, Shelly, and this is my other host, Fran. And if you are just finding us for the first time, we are just two friends who get together and we talk about things and we invite you into our conversation. Most of the things that, if not all of the things that we talk about, are somehow related to special education or people with disabilities or dealing with behaviors and those kinds of things. Because I'm a former special education teacher and Fran is the mom of now 2 adults, both who have disabilities. And she herself became a person with a disability several years ago. And so between the 2 of us, we think, a good amount of experience to talk about things. Do we have all the answers? Absolutely not. Have we been in every scenario? Absolutely not. But that's why we invite you, our guests, not our guests, I do that every time, our audience, to join in the conversation, just like Alex did right here. Hey, Alex, thank you for joining us from New York.
Hey, I'll be right back.
Okay. So yes, please, if you are watching live, let us know that you're watching live and tell us where you're from. And if you're watching this in the replay, do the same thing. Let us know that you watched it in the replay. So #live or #replay, and then where you're from. Today, we are going to talk about the fact that school's almost out. And then what do you do? What do you do with your kids? What do you do with your time? What do you do with yourself? And I was telling Fran before we came on that I have developed a new word, and it's called perfectionator. And now that she's back, I'm going to let her talk for a little bit because otherwise it just seems like it's just me. And then I'll go back later.
But no, you had to talk about perfectionator.
Well, I was gonna, but talk a little bit first. Say hi. Tell who you know.
Okay. Hi. That was my son. I hadn't heard from him in a really long time, so I just told him I'd call him back. But
okay.
I just needed to let him know. My son lives in a group home, so he is living his own life and he's doing great at it.
That's so awesome. I'm so happy to hear that he's doing great right now, because he hasn't always. I mean, just like any person, has his down times, has his up times. So I'm glad that right now he's in an up time. So this perfectionator word,
did you say hi to Alex, by the way?
I did. Yep.
Okay.
I like to procrastinate. I don't even know that I like to is the right way to describe it, but I do procrastinate. But yet I want things to go perfectly. And so I came up with the word perfectionator to kind of combine the 2 things together. But then as Fran and I were talking and I was explaining it to her, I realized that I needed to add a 3rd P in there. I'm a panicked perfectionist procrastinator because the closer it gets to whatever the thing is, then I start to panic and go, oh, did I do this? Oh, I should have done that. Maybe should I do that? And, I start going through like this whole thing. And it's always how I've done it. As long as I can remember as an adult, that's how I've done things. And it's like I need that pressure for my brain to do its best thinking.
Okay.
So it's annoying, but it's like,
but I get
I have to do it.
That's how I did most of my papers for college.
Mm-hmm.
I could start them, but it would never come together till it needed to be turned in practically. And then it was like, oh, and then I get it.
Yeah. And so with that, because I did that too, but I would be thinking about the paper. I wouldn't actually be putting pen to paper, but I would be thinking about it. And so then when I did sit down to put ink to paper, it had already kind of processed through. So she's going to take care of Yanko, so I can't ask her, but when she comes back, I will ask her if that's what she did too, or if she truly just would start it, then not think about it, and then sit down and finish it. Now, thankfully, My daughter has a little bit of that, but for the most part, she is a planner and like serious planning. Like I am
Really?
so impressed and beyond impressed, to be honest, of how much and how well she plans. So, Fran, when you were talking about your papers, were you able to hear what I was saying about like me thinking about what was going to go in the paper?
Yes.
So, is that what you did, or did you just totally not even think about it?
I would write it in my head
Mm-hmm.
or work on write. Oh, he's going to parrot again. I would work on writing it in my head, but putting it on in concrete pen and paper or in the computer, no, that didn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know if that's typical or not, but I mean, that's definitely how I would do it. Or the other thing, part of the perfectionator thinking was if I was to have a big event now, but in college, if it was a big test coming up, I would study a little bit at a time. But then even still, the night or 2 nights before, I would still panic, like, oh my gosh, I can't remember anything. And like it was almost as if I had to have a mental collapse and release all that pressure, because I would cry and I would be like, oh, I'm never going to do this, but and I'd go through this whole thing, but then I would be fine. And
really?
Yeah. And it truly was just like I had to, like, that was just part of my process. Like I'd worry about it. I'd think about it. I'd panic, and then it would go off. Okay. I don't know. But that's so the reason that we were talking about all of this is because my daughter graduated college back in December, but her graduation ceremony at her college, because it's so small, they only have one a year, happens tomorrow. And then we're having a party for her friends and some family in the afternoon. And the other major thing that has happened in her life and in our life is she moved out a couple weeks ago. Did I tell you that?
Yeah.
Okay. And so she's like 2 times around the clock away now, 2 hours away now. And so she's trying to help plan it from where she is. And she has to work today and doesn't get off until much later this evening and can't drive down tonight. So she'll go straight to her graduation tomorrow. So she can't really help do the prep work and the, putting everything together other than the stuff that she's bringing down. And so, yeah, I was just like, oh my gosh, okay, do I have this? Do I have this? Oh, maybe I should have done this. Oh, do we need this? And, going
So,
like that.
So the key word to tell you now would be breathe.
Breathe. And what's Alex's favorite word? That's the other word that I need.
I don't know. Is she going to say it, or should I wait? I'll wait to see if she say it.
Yeah, give her a second or two, because there is a bit of a lag between when people type things and when they pop up, and so there it is. Yep. Yeah, I need. You're right. I need the balance of just and I did some things today for time saving. So we're gonna have fruit trays and veggie trays, and rather than try to stress myself out cutting up all veggies and fruits tomorrow in between the ceremony and the party, I just bought pre-made trays today with a few things extra.
Wise.
Thank you.
Because sometimes it's not in the cost, it's the cost of time cost, strength cost, energy cost, mental cost.
Yeah. And we had done a fruit tray for a party that we attended a while back. And I figured up, like before I bought the pre-made tray, how much each individual item was going to be. And then approximately how much time it would take me to cut up everything. I felt like there was just a couple dollars difference. And I thought, for a couple dollars, it's worth it. to have it all done. So I bought a few extra things to refill some of the stuff, but otherwise that's done. And that actually did take a weight off my shoulders, because that was a big concern of how am I going to get that done? Because I don't want to do it ahead of time, because if I did it ahead of time, then the fruit would turn brown, the veggies might start,
Right.
Whatever, wilting. So I was like, I can only do it after, in between. And then what if there's not enough time? And so, yeah, my brain.
So you balanced out. Yes, very good.
I did. Yeah.
So you put something up. What's up with that?
Well, I don't know. It was your title.
Well, I didn't know if you had anything to add to it. I wanted to see where you were going to go with it.
I've had some clients that their kiddos have had a really rough go of it lately. And for them, they can't wait for school to be out to get away from the situations at school.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, I think there are a lot of families in that situation. What was it like in your house with your kiddos? Did they look forward to summer, or did they sort of dread summer, or was it sort of a mix, or did it depend on their ages?
My son, I don't think it really made a difference, because he couldn't grasp the concept.
Okay.
My daughter, I think she preferred summer.
Mm-hmm. And how about mom? How did it go over with mom when summer was coming?
It was kind of a mixed bag as when they were younger to as they got older. When they were younger, I wanted to try to have as many educational opportunities for them. And so I super planned summers, so there wasn't time. And then as they got older, I realized that summer was important for them just to have some downtime. And that was educational in and of itself, as they were able to find things to entertain themselves and to do on their own, rather than me doing everything for them.
Yeah. I just realized that you blend in very nicely with our backdrop.
Oh, do I?
You have the same color.
Oh, I guess I do. I didn't notice that. I guess I'll have to not wear this shirt again.
It's okay. It's not like a green screen. You haven't disappeared.
That's good. I noticed in this shirt that can you see my scar from my surgery?
A little bit, yeah.
I was like, oh man, I didn't know I had a scar there. But I had a breakthrough, I got to tell you. This is like totally not related to anything about which we're speaking, but
okay.
My arm had been kind of stuck. I had gone backwards actually, and I was so frustrated. And then I was doing my home exercises, and I felt this huge pop.
Oh.
And now I'm back to where I was, where I can move my arm.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it was a good thing.
It was a good thing. Yeah, I had been unable to.
You also do physical therapy, so I mean, it isn't as if.
Yeah, and I had physical therapy this morning, and so I told her, and she could move my arm in ways that I hadn't been able to for a long time. So it was really neat. So
that's cool.
That was a big breakthrough.
Yeah, that had to make you feel good, not just physically, but mentally too, because I'm sure when you hit that wall, it was like, ugh, I went through the surgery and all of this, and this is it.
Yeah, because I couldn't get it. Hurt to put a shirt on. It hurt to put a jacket on. That kind of motion, and I had that motion, and so anyway, I got that. So that was cool.
What's sitting on your keyboard? I'm like a squirrel today. I'm noticing your shirt. I'm noticing your things on your keyboard.
It's from Cooper.
Oh.
It was. Hold on. It was for Mother's Day. It's a pop-up card. So
that's cute.
Isn't it cute? So I've been having it sit here because I think it's just really neat.
Yeah. Oh, Cooper, you're so thoughtful.
He's like, You're moving too much.
Yeah.
Quit being thoughtful. But we just had the bug people come, so the dogs can't go out.
Yeah.
Otherwise, my barking nephew dog would be outside.
Oh, no, he was fine.
He
Yeah,
was,
I put
he was
some.
chasing a cat.
Oh, I'm sure Emmy wasn't happy about that.
It was actually Princess. He had cornered.
Oh no,
Emmy puts him in his place. So
really?
yeah.
Now we've never seen Princess.
Oh, she was in my Zoom next night meeting I had. She decided to visit. Normally she doesn't come very often,
Oh,
but
okay.
she's black with white.
Oh, hmm. So okay.
Anyway.
So back to. I'll try to bring us back.
Yeah, well, you're the one that did it because you asked
I
me
know.
what was over there.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'll try to bring it back. So yeah, I think that was a really interesting point that you made, that when kids have summer, it's still educational for them, even if it appears that they're not doing anything, because they are figuring out how to entertain themselves, even if that's just not doing anything. And, kind of learning what they can tolerate, what activities they might want to do or not want to do, and just giving them that autonomy to make some of those decisions on their own. I was subbing in a school yesterday and went with the class to PE. I was an aide in the classroom for an individual student, and the PE teacher was doing exactly that. She was letting the kids play kickball, and she just was stepping back and letting them figure out if a ball was fair or foul, and if kids were out, and if there was a disagreement, how were they going to solve that disagreement. And so she was, that was really difficult for me to not, jump in and want to say, oh no, that ball was foul, or no, that was fair, or, whatever. And just to let them figure it out on their own, because that's what we do as adults. We problem solve all the time. And we have to be able to figure out, if we don't get our way, or the way that we think something should be, how are we going to respond to that? And what you were talking about with your kids and not scheduling everything for them, those are fabulous learning experiences. And I don't know, I think,
don't they call it free play?
Yeah. I think a lot of families overplan the summers because the kids don't get a break. There's that balance word again. Structured time balanced with free time. Keep some sense of routine. And yeah, Alex, there are some kids that absolutely need that routine. And we talked about that before, like kind of the difference between routine and structure. And yeah, there are some kids that they need to know, okay, when I get up, I'm going to get up at a certain time every day, and I'm going to do these certain however many steps to get ready for my day. And then I'm going to go to daycare, or I'm going to stay home. But if I'm staying home, then, I've got chores, or I've got free time, or whatever it is. And,
yes,
thanks, Emmy. That's helping my squirrel today.
That's me. I had a laugh when she jumped up here. I thought her tail was going to go right in front of the camera.
Yeah, that was hilarious. But yeah, so what do you do now? Well, I mean, obviously you said your son doesn't live at home, but what do you do now that it's summer with your daughter?
Well, that is the $1 million question. Because not only is it summer, school is out forever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to, yeah.
I have to figure out what part is structured, what part is free, and what is realistic. And don't ask me because I haven't figured it out yet.
jobs that she was doing the last part of her schooling, does she get to keep either? I know one was a paid and one was a volunteer.
No, neither were paid.
Oh, they weren't? Oh, I thought the
Mm-mm.
one was.
No, it was all volunteer.
Okay. Is there a chance that the coffee shop can hire her?
They wanted to.
Oh, okay.
She chose not to.
Okay. I know she prefers working with animals.
So, yes, but she can volunteer there still.
Oh, good.
And she has said she will continue to volunteer, just not as
Okay.
many days.
Right.
So, can I just tell you, Cooper is heavy. I just have to say that.
Oh,
He wants to be held. He's not just in my lap. I'm holding him. Anyway,
well, I wish
I just had to
Jonas.
say it.
I wish Jonas and Cooper would share some weight, because Jonas is losing weight, and
Oh no.
yeah, he's down to only this many pounds, and I mean he was only at like this many, so it's only like a pound difference. But when they're that little,
Yeah.
that those ounces, I mean, he's not totally down to this. He's like 6.5, but when you get down to those small sizes, ounces make a huge difference in appearance. And he looks so thin now. But
Understand.
yeah. So you said not to ask you. I'm not going to ask you what she's doing, but has she wanted to have any conversations about it at all?
Not really. I know I have learned from experience that she values downtime.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know that to start the summer, there will be a lot of downtime.
Yeah.
But then I have to determine what is realistic amount of downtime and realistic in reality of life.
Right.
So I think the key point there, or a point there, is realizing that what you start the summer with doesn't mean how you have to end your summer.
Right.
And it's not set in stone, any of it.
Right.
And being flexible. And I personally struggle with flexibility. I'm a black and white kind of person.
Yeah.
And I know that that's an area I need to work on, is finding the gray.
Or our other favorite word is grace, for her to be her and for you to be you.
Well, I'm going to be me because I'm going camping soon, so
Okay.
that'll help with this whole thing, I think, because I'm going to spend a lot of time while I'm camping contemplating the future.
Yeah.
But you're right, grace, undeserved, getting that which we don't deserve.
Right. And you're thinking about your future for your daughter and you, because of her abilities, looks different than me thinking about my future for my family. Because like I said, Violet's out on her own. She's got a job. She is, able to plan and prepare and think. Like when she moved out, she for weeks was planning, what she was going to take on the one day and what was going to be going the next day and what had to stay here, and all the steps of getting her utilities and getting the keys and getting somebody to help us move her because we didn't have a vehicle big enough. All the little things that you need your very first night in a home, that sometimes people don't think about. And I mean, she did all of that, and she didn't even really talk to me about it, or her dad, because we were like, she had to go up the night before we went, because she had to get the keys really early in the morning, and then we were going to go up we borrowed my brother and his truck to help us get the rest of her big stuff up. And so I was asking her, like, did you get paper towels? Did you get toilet paper? Did you get the water turned on? Did you get the electric? And she's like, Mom, I did all of it. And I was like, oh, okay. But that's the procrastinator part of my brain, going, oh, now we need it. Do we have it?
Right.
So Alex says, she was going to say, I think she will be willing to talk more after a little downtime. She needs a break in her mind. And I think that's fair to say for anybody moving out of one transitioning from one thing to another. Whether it's a teacher during summer, whether it's somebody moving from one job to a different job, or one home to a new home, or being completely finished with school, being, retiring. I think your point before about what you start with doesn't have to be with what you end with is a very valid point and very key for people to remember.
And you know what I've discovered?
What?
It's like walking off a cliff without a parachute when your child transitions out of school.
Wow.
There's not much help. All the stuff, all the IEP team and the support network that you have going through school no longer ceases to exist.
Right. And I know that there are organizations that are out there, but in our area,
you qualify.
Right. In our area, those organizations aren't many. And as you said, there are lots of steps to qualify for them. And yeah, mom needs a little transition time too.
I think that's to both moms she's referring. Just saying.
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah. Hi, Mom. Yeah, I'm sure that was to both of us.
Just saying.
Yeah. Well, and Grandma needed some transition time too.
I'm sure there was a big transition. And so it is, even with typically developing, it's a transition, these life-changing experiences. And so how do we navigate that? How do we navigate big transitions? What are some of the things in our toolbox that help us get through them?
Well, we mentioned grace for ourselves and for others also going through the situation. What's another tool that you know of that you use?
Lists.
Yeah.
Making lists. Pros and cons, or I need these, I don't need these, or here are some possibilities, kind of thing.
Is he wanting to get down now?
I don't know what he's wanting to do. He's wanting to reposition his perch.
Oh.
But he's not helping very much. He's there. Okay.
Oh. I'm sorry he's heavy, but that looks really cute.
Thanks. Well, my cat, I'm trying to keep so her tail doesn't whack everywhere. So I'm holding her down with my other hand. So.
Oh, so you have no hands left?
Nope. But so
I just heard his little noise.
Those were some of my some of my toolboxes lists, and You had grace. So what are
Mhm.
some other things?
I like your lists idea because that can encompass so many things. Like you said, the pros and cons. And then you can also like write down the things that you are worried about. And then and then just tackle them one at a time instead of
I
thinking
mean, you don't have to do them all at the same time?
you don't.
No way.
Way, you do not
Oh,
have to do them all, not at once at least.
okay.
So, yeah, you write them all down and then you can prioritize them. And then as you kind of work them out, um, then you get that sense of, oh, okay, I'm getting somewhere with this. Yeah, writing
Mm-hmm.
out lists of options. Um, I can't
The
believe you
prob-
forgot it was Friday. Like everybody else in the world is like, oh, it's Friday.
uh, it's okay. I
um,
thought the other day was Friday. I've been waiting for Friday for a while, apparently.
yeah, the school that I was in yesterday, the teacher came out, one of the teachers, not the teacher, and she's like, you know what? I woke up today and all morning I've been thinking today was Friday and it's only Thursday. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's true. This is an excellent, excellent point, Alex. And knowing that one thing does not have to be permanent, it can change. And I think that is
That's a huge.
yeah, because I think we get stuck thinking whatever decision we make is it, and we're not going to be able to change it. And that, we have to make the right one the first time. And we really don't.
Unless, of course, it's like my knee replacement. I can't turn back time and say I'm not going to have it once I have it.
Well, right. That is true. Bless you.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Bless you.
It's allergy season. Everyone's plowing in the fields
It is. And I'm laughing because I've been thinking a lot about allergy season lately.
because
What
it's
are people?
affecting you so greatly.
Well, it kind of, yeah, last week and still a little bit this week. But what are people allergic to? Natural things or unnatural or both?
Both.
Okay. So I've had people tell me lately, or tell loved ones of mine who have told me that they shouldn't be, or I shouldn't be allergic to certain things because they're all natural. Like, what do you think allergies are?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I was just baffled when I heard that. And I'm like, what do you think poison ivy and poison oak and pollen and mold and ragweed and all the things that are talked about all spring and summer long of being, high levels when
Mm-hmm.
people's allergies are going crazy? Are those not all natural?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was exactly who I was referring to. Sadly for mom, she's always been very sensitive to medications, and
Mm-hmm.
she had cataract surgery a few weeks ago or months, I don't know how long ago now, and she was having problems with the eye drops that they gave her. And the nurse was like, well, it's all natural. You shouldn't be allergic. There's nothing in there for you to be allergic to. Again, what do you think allergies are?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, it's just, I don't know why. I guess because I've been having my own allergy situations lately that I've been thinking about that, and just thinking in general about things people say, and do they really think about what they are saying and what the words they're using, if they like sort of went down the rabbit hole,
Mm-hmm.
actually mean? Because, I'm procrastinating on doing my job, so I'm thinking about other things.
Oh, Shelley.
I know. So is the school that your daughter went to, is everyone done or just her age
Okay,
group.
see, this is where it gets vaguely really confusing.
Vaguely really confusing. Okay.
They're not finished till May 27th, whenever that is.
Okay.
She, since she went into extended education, she followed a senior schedule.
Okay.
Seniors are done.
Right.
They just have finals. But she
Okay.
doesn't go to school when they have finals. So
Right.
theoretically, she still could be in school.
Right.
But she follows a senior schedule.
So has she followed it each year since she's been in extended school?
Yes.
Oh, weird. I wonder if that's like that everywhere.
You need to find that out.
Yeah, I'm curious now.
But so she's missing out on a couple of church day to church days worth of schooling.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's exactly what you said. It's a couple of church day to church days between now and the 27th.
Mm-hmm. But we have an IEP meeting coming up that even though she's finished with school.
Right. You have the exit one, which unfortunately I can't attend because I have something that day. I don't know if I have a meeting or if I have teaching that day, but
I'm sorry,
I know whatever.
I know you wanted to see the end.
Yeah. Well, that's all right. I mean, like I said, if it had worked, it would have been neat because I haven't seen that before. But, I mean, I'm sure they don't do fanfare and have a show and all that. I'm sure it's just like,
but
hey, here's the final assessments.
Weird thing because it's not. We're inviting an outside agency into the final meeting.
Right.
So it's kind of a weird final meeting.
Right.
So school's out. Now what? What other items in our toolbox? We have grace, we have balance, we have breathing, we have lists.
Writing
That's
out options.
So what else?
Having a plan and being flexible.
That just doesn't sound like it should be in the same sentence. Does it? I mean, really, having a plan and being flexible.
Well, I think for me, what it means is
having a flexible plan.
Well, like with anything, because we don't control everything.
Oh,
I know.
Cooper, we don't control everything. Did you know that? Oh, he says no. He didn't know that either.
I know. And because we don't control everything, we have to understand that some things might not go to the letter of the way we thought it should go, but it's probably still going to be okay. Okay may not look like what we thought either, but we're still going to be okay. Deep thinking, huh?
That's heavy. That takes some serious lift in there. We're going to have to put that one off to the side and process that one at another time.
Yeah. But many years ago, I realized that no matter what I go through, because of whose I am, I'm going to be okay. And okay might not look like what okay looks like today. And I don't know what I'm going to have to go through between now and okay, but I'm going to be okay.
True. I get it. Yes, Alex, we see that.
Flexibility, balance. We sound like we're gymnasts now. Balance and flexibility.
I am the farthest thing from a gymnast.
And that may sound contradictory, but important. Yeah, it really is. And it's very true. I think there was a time, and no, I don't think, I know there was a time in my life where I was not that way. I was very, it's got to be this way. And if it doesn't happen this way, I can't handle that. It's not right. I can't, and I don't know if it comes with age or wisdom or, like I said, knowing who I belong to, that I don't worry so much about every little detail. I mean, I say that knowing what we talked about earlier, that I am thinking about, well, am I going to have enough food? Am I going to have enough this? Is this going to work out? Did we do this? Is blah, blah, blah. Whatever happens, I mean, I'm planning, but even if somebody comes, and I'm sorry if you're watching and you come tomorrow and you don't get food at the end, I'll buy you a pizza if we run out of food, because
I'll take a pizza. No. Wait, I wasn't invited. Scratch that.
Sorry. That was Violet's list. Sorry.
I'm playing. It's okay. I have a bunch of stuff going on. I just had to throw it out there. Pizza sounds really good.
Kevin and I had pizza last night.
Did you?
Yeah. Taco pizza from Casey's.
I like their breakfast pizza.
Oh, that's good too. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, the party isn't about the food. The party isn't about the decorations. The party is about Violet. So, as long as Violet has people there, that's really all that she worries about. That's all that's important to her. So
figuring out what is important.
Oh yeah, there you go. Oh, that's a good one too, Alex. Choose what you stress over. Life is too important to stress over every little thing. See, you guys are just so much better at words than I am. And I'm the one who has a book out. Wonder what that says. Could be why it took my editor so long to edit my book, because I had too many words.
Oops, I was going to show you him, but I picked something.
He was just chilling out on your shoulder, laying down.
So we've come up with quite a few things to go in our toolbox.
Yes.
Our summer's out toolbox.
All right, so I'm going to write these down.
School's out toolbox.
Did you see? I got them out last week.
Yes, you did. I liked it. It was very pretty. I shared it to my page, actually.
Oh, good.
So,
right. So we need grace.
We had grace.
Balance.
Lists.
Flexibility.
Plan.
What about realistic expectations?
Ooh. How do we determine what is realistic, though?
That's a good question. What did you say as I was saying realistic expectations?
You had said having a plan but being flexible.
Oh, right.
And so I had said plan with flexibility. And then you said we were gymnasts.
Right. And giving up control.
Ugh. Cooper, you're hurting me. Stop.
Aww. All right. I think I've got grace, balance, lists, flexibility, plan but be flexible, giving up control, remembering
nothing is permanent.
Right. Remembering nothing.
Change.
Nothing has to be permanent.
Right.
Well, I don't know. Either way, it's
change
because you still can't.
Yeah.
Change what?
Change is not always bad.
Yep. The only thing that's constant is change.
Yes. Who says that?
I don't know. But it's a saying, or it's something I say. And there was something else. Something else I just thought of as I was saying that one.
Do you see why writing things down is good?
Uh-huh.
Because it makes us think of other things.
It does. But my problem with writing things down, I'm getting too comfortable. Look at this. I'm leaning way back and I'm like starting to disappear in the my thing with writing stuff down though is I don't always then do something with it, and so then I just get these little stacks of paper all over the place.
Like your sticky notes all over your desk.
Yes. If Violet was on, she would tell you how messy my desk is with all of my stacks of paper. She before she moved out, she wanted to clean all the stacks of paper so bad. I'm like, no, because if you do, I won't know where anything is.
I only have B stacks right now.
Oh, that's awesome.
A to be filed stack and a to go through stack.
That's cool. My to go through stacks never ever completely go away though, because I go through it and then I'm like, I'm not ready to deal with that yet. And then it stays there to get dealt with another time. And then maybe another time you okay? Are you sneezing?
Sneezing.
Oh, okay. God bless you. At first I thought you were like wincing.
Because I have a dog right up under my nose. So I'm allergic to dogs and cats. Yes, I have cats and a dog.
Uh-huh. That
so
are
ask my
on you and
pulmonologist
around you all the time.
Right. Ask my pulmonologist how many times he asked me, do you still have your animals? Well, you're never going to breathe well as long as you have your animals.
Aww.
I said, well, the animals I have, when they cease to exist, I will no longer add more animals to my house. But until then, I will have animals in my house.
Oh, well, there's a conversation you may have to have.
Did you just hear that?
For anybody who didn't hear that, her daughter in the background said, yes, we will have more animals. So that's a down the road conversation to have.
Hence why this conversation we've had today has been the way it has been. Because they had a half day today. So I have my daughter and niece in the living room right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Kevin doesn't have any half days in May. I asked him that last night because I know that some of the schools around us have had a half day one Friday already this month. And he said he doesn't have any half days. So, my shirt's being weird. I got my butterfly shirt on.
Clothes on. Oh, that's cool. You look like you're dressed for winter.
Well, when I'm in the air conditioning, I tend to get cold. So I made this mistake yesterday, because I said I was a personal care aide yesterday, and I knew I was going to be in a school building with, varying temperatures, cold temperatures, but I forgot that I was going to have to go outside for lunch recess and morning recess and PE.
And it was very, very muggy and hot.
Oh, yeah. I was exhausted when I came home yesterday because I get zapped by the heat, and especially these first days of the high heat when I'm totally not used to it. What? Proof of what statement? Yeah, it's, no more pets. Yep. They're always out there. They're always on YouTube, Alex. Anytime you want to go rewatch one.
Hey, now.
Not planning on taking them down at any time, but.
I can edit this one prior to it going up, though. Find that line. Mute the section.
You could, but only if you get to it and download it before I download it and then upload it. Because it's already out on YouTube as we're talking right now. It's going on YouTube. So
yeah.
And I don't do anything with them out there other than maybe go make some comments more about what we talked about sometimes, or add, like I did last week, the items.
Okay. So back to where we were. School's out. Now what? In our toolbox. Tell me what's in our toolbox, please.
Change is not always bad. Have grace for yourself and for others going through the situation. Balance, lists, flexibility, plan but be flexible. Remembering that we're not in control of everything. Remember that nothing has to be permanent.
Okay.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
And curveballs in life are to be expected. They're not out of the ordinary, but to be expected. Okay, I'm going to try to turn so you can see him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Every time you get to a certain point, he's like, hey, what are you doing?
Oh, well.
Curveballs are not out of the ordinary, but to be expected. Change is the only constant.
Yeah.
Which I said somewhere, but I didn't write down. I don't know why. Maybe I didn't think it
Because
was
you
a
were
actual
talking.
point.
When you're talking, you don't write.
Well, yeah, because then I'll write what I'm talking instead of what I, or I'll say what I'm writing instead of what actually makes sense.
I think that's a good toolbox. You know, I think we should start having our toolboxes. We should have a place for all our toolboxes.
Like where people can go get the lists.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. If you help me write them all up, because we have had several, we could put them in a Dropbox, or people could email me like they email me for my free IEP checklists and stuff.
Right.
And they could, or we could just
we could just stick them, attach them to the videos, or
you can do that. I
you
didn't
can
know
put
that
them
was
in the
possible.
comment. You could put them in the comments.
Oh, yeah. That makes, yeah. I don't do that often, but I have done it once or twice.
I don't know. It's just a random thought I had.
Yep. No, that's good. That's a good idea. Because, you know, we do come up with some decent ideas occasionally.
Occasionally,
So,
yes.
you know, to share
And
those.
the rest of them are squirrel chase, chipmunks all over the place, but
Right.
it's okay.
Yeah.
We're real.
It's very true. We are very real. Oh my goodness. And it's almost been a whole time around the clock.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we can still talk for a couple minutes or we can end, but we're...
Well, let's recap.
Okay.
You have the list.
Yeah, well, I was also looking because writing out lists of options. So lists, I need to add, like, kind of clarify those. So options lists,
pros and cons,
and
thank you, Alex.
To-do lists so that you can cross them out as you do them.
Mm-hmm.
One thing does not have. Yeah, it's not. I'm just kind of looking at her stuff to see if we.
Did you see what she just wrote?
Last week's were great. Even a friend of mine liked them. This week's are good also. Oh, thanks, Alex. Yeah, I had a few people that made comments because I shared it not just on Facebook, but on my Instagram feed and on LinkedIn. And so there were other people that, you know, don't watch Friday with Fran that were able to see what we talked about and at least get the list. So they were helpful. And it is Mental Health Awareness Month still. We're still in the month of May.
Mm-hmm.
And again, transition and change, that all affects our mental health. So, you know, these are all good topics to discuss. And yeah, we'll figure out somehow if we can put them in the comments. I can't do it right now. It won't let me, but you know, after we get them written up or something, like you said, maybe we can put them in the comments. Because we've talked about toolboxes many times. So we've probably got a good handful or more of lists that we could put together for what we have used to deal with stuff.
And I think toolboxes, which is another way of a list, saying list, but I think it helps in the midst of something to have something to go to because oftentimes, I know for me personally, I struggle in the moment sometimes, and having something to which to look helps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I agree with Alex. I like calling it a toolbox because also when you're trying to fix something or trying to mend something, or you go, well, what tool do I need that's going to help me with this? So I think
it's multi-dimensional rather than
right, because a list you tend to just think of one thing, but yeah, multi-dimensional is a great way because it can have all these different things in it. So
and everyone can relate and know what a toolbox is.
yeah.
Yep.
I think so. I agree with that. So yeah, so we've talked about that change is the only constant. Curveballs are not out of the ordinary, but to be expected. Remembering that nothing has to be permanent. Change is not always bad. Grace, balance, making lists, being flexible, planning but being flexible, giving up the idea that we control everything, and accepting that we can't control everything. And again, if you know who you belong to, if you are a child of God, everything's going to be okay.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Well, anything else you want to recap or leave out with?
Like you had said, it's mental health awareness as well, and there is a toolbox that we made previously for this, and also just you're never alone. Don't give up hope.
Yeah, that's so important, and we always try to remember that. And I was going to say it if you didn't, because it's crucial. We feel so alone, especially having gone through the pandemic the last few years. And even though people are starting to get back out and see more people and do more things, there's still a lot of people who aren't, and who still feel very much alone.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's not the same through a computer or over a phone conversation as it is face to face, but reach out and call somebody, send a message to somebody, and just chat, and that will help take some of that feeling away.
Yep.
All right. I believe we will see you all next week, right? Or will you be camping?
I'll be camping, but I think no one else will be out there with me, so I'll just do it remote.
Okay. Perfect. Oh, wait, no. Next week's the week I have a meeting.
Oh,
and I can't.
Okay.
I have an IEP meeting that starts at 12:11. I mean 11:12.
That's
So
a
I don't
perfect
know
time
that I would be done.
camping.
Yeah. Okay. So we will
won't
see you in 2 weeks.
Okay.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for joining Alex and Mom.